What's good, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Land Grant Podcast Network's Power 2 Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jordan. I'm here with my co host, DJ.
Yes. Hi. Hello. You know what really increases my mental health? It's the simple things.
The sun.
Yes, the sun. But I got some new cups. And I just love a cup. So
Where
I
did
got
you
a new
get
cup
those
for my
from?
coffee. I got it from Walmart, actually. Don't listen. We got to shop at the big corporations. I don't know
That's
what people want me to
that's
do. I didn't go to Target. But yes, I got it at
okay.
Walmart. It was $8 for 4 of these. They're so cute.
Okay.
And my mental health has greatly increased since having these in my home. Yes, this is coffee. I like my coffee really light skin. I'm having a great day. How are you?
I'm all right. Um, yeah. Well, so sorry, I got off track because this is the second thing that you've said in like 2 minutes where I'm like, do I podcast with my wife? Because I'm very positive that those are the cups that she sent me that is like currently sitting in our Amazon cart. Which we're not trying to shop on Amazon. That's partially why they're in the cart, but like currently sitting on our Amazon cart. And I'm just like,
I will send you a picture of the box. I still have them. I literally found them on the aisle, like with the barware
listen,
at Walmart.
don't send me a
And they're
picture.
$8.
Don't send me a
$8 for 4
picture
of
if
these.
you're not going to buy them and ship them. I mean, I will pay, but like if you're not going to put if she likes them and you're not going to put them in the mail, don't even send the picture.
Why can't you just go to Walmart and go get the cups? There's Walmarts in
Do
New
you
York.
First of all, in different states and things, they be having different stuff. Secondly, I
Well,
couldn't
Walmart
tell
is
you
a chain store.
first,
Like,
secondly, I couldn't tell you where Walmart is in New York.
I will send you the cups. Lord
All
Jesus.
right,
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link.
whatever. Um yeah, I've been here for over a year. I haven't seen a Walmart once. I'm not kidding. I do not know where Walmart is.
That is well, you can order
Because it's
online
too
as well.
big. Like, you know what I'm
Um,
saying? It's too big. Like, I'm sure it's somewhere, but it's too big to just be having out here. So like I haven't seen a Walmart once. I know there's one in New Jersey.
really?
I'm sure there's a one. You know what?
That's,
Let's play a little fun game of where's and I don't shop at Walmart.
let's find out. Let's find the Walmarts in New York, everybody. I did actually just send you the link to these cups, though. They are literally $7.98. And I really feel like my mental health has increased. I just want to know though, what is a small thing that like makes you feel like, oh, I'm gonna have a good day today?
Not Walmart. Okay, hold on. Hold on. This is so stupid that I'm going to do this. This is so very stupid. But you know, what can I say? I think that you think that I was lying to you. Can you see this?
Are we
Like
screen
do I need
sharing
to
right
make it
now?
yeah, do I need to make it bigger?
I can see. I mean, it's not very
Okay.
clear, but I can't.
All right.
We are screen sharing. He
The,
went and did one presentation at a conference, and he think he's somebody.
you know, I listen. I am me, you know. But no, I was just like so part of the reason I did it is I was like maybe I'm just talking out the side of my neck, you know what I'm saying? So like
Oh, they're very spread out too. Yeah.
yeah, and I can
Wow.
tell you like I don't live anywhere over here. I don't know where
Valley
the hell that
Stream,
is.
New York. Where the hell is that?
Exactly my point. And then this one is New Jersey. All of these are New Jersey. You see, all of these are New Jersey.
Ooh,
And
LOL.
then yeah, New Jersey. Yeah. So I was not lying.
Okay, wait, but the fact that we just now figured out that we have that feature is like
Oh, I
iconic.
knew we had it. I just never really.
Why have we not been using that?
What did we need to use it for?
Like if there's certain videos of things like fights and stuff like that that we talk about throughout the season, or like certain plays that you're talking about, like we could have been screen sharing, fam.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You're correct. I will take that. The other thing though is I don't be knowing what's copyrighted or not. So like I don't
That's
be
also
trying to play
fair.
videos.
But also like with certain people like YouTubers and stuff, they be using stuff that's not copyrighted. Like I watch a show that I thoroughly enjoy, a podcast where they like show like people's TikTok clips and stuff like as part of their show.
Okay.
Whatever, we'll talk about this offline. Anyways,
Yeah.
a small thing that brings you joy, like you just know you're like, man, I'm gonna have a good day today. For me, it's when my coffee is perfectly sweetened in a nice cup.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know if this is top of the list, but it's just what came up since you're asking me this question at random. When I go to the subway and there's nobody on the train, like
Oh,
I get a seat. I'm chilling. I don't gotta stand. I'm like,
it's a good
all
day
right.
today.
We're doing something here. We're cooking.
We
We're
are
doing something.
cooking.
Although yesterday, this was at the end of the day, but I knew I was gonna have a good night because I walked out of the dungeon that is the New York subway, and it was still light outside, and I said, "Oh my,
Oh, daylight savings.
oh my
We
god!"
are finally done saving the daylight. I really do feel
And
like
now the
a member of the
daylight can
Avengers.
save me.
Now the daylight is saving me.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't save the daylight. Now it's time for the daylight to save us. What we
No, literally,
doing?
all I needed was some coffee and some sun, y'all. That's all I needed was coffee and sun. No, I saw somebody tweet. They said that hour was the hour that we lost was the hour that I was going to start being nice to men. I'm screaming. I have seen so many funny tweets and things about like what people were going to do with that hour that we lost. But that one was the funniest one. That was when I was going to start being nice to men. Another one said that hour that we lost was the hour that I was going to use to get my life together.
Well, too late. Too late. I don't know what to tell you. The hour's not here.
The hour is gone. But the sun is out. That is so very true. Like, because I have an office with a window at my job, and my office getting dark at 4:45, 5 o'clock was just not. That was just not working. I also have a lot of windows in my house, so I'm just like, it's dark as hell. Like, what time is it? 10, and it's 6.
Crazy, but no, seriously, like, and I get off work at 6, so it was always dark, but it would be like sort of kind of dark, and then I get on the subway, and I would get off the subway. It's like 45 minutes, and it would just be like pitch black,
like dark.
So yesterday, I literally went and bought a bottle of wine because the sun was still out. I was like,
no, me and my best friend were like, what do we need? We need to go do something. Like, what are we gonna do? And we literally like found a rooftop bar and went to a rooftop because we were like, oh, it's nice out. The sun is out. Like, we need to be freed from our nightmare of daylight savings. But anyways, sorry I asked you those questions at random. I just be having random thoughts at the beginning. Y'all got dogs last time. This time you're getting, sweet coffee in glass cups with wooden lids.
All right, so hear me out.
Okay.
You messed up, shorty. She likes the cups, but they're sold out. I need you to go back to Walmart.
No way.
Yeah, I will pay for it. I'm not asking. All you gotta do is take, go there and then go to UPS, put them in the mail. I'll pay for the shipping and stuff, but you gotta go to Walmart. They're sold out online.
No, they're only selling them in single packs.
They're not even doing that on the link that I'm on. They're both sold out.
Oh, I see them here. Oh, they're out of stock for shipping. But you can get them delivered.
I don't think.
We're gonna get you these cups. We're gonna get you these cups. When is her birthday? Her birthday's coming up, isn't it? It already happened.
It's like $8. It's not a birthday gift.
It is a birthday gift.
I will send you $20 so you can go.
It is a birthday gift. It is a gift from me to her.
As long as we don't wait until May, now she wants some.
Not as.
Anyways.
Bro, speaking of birthdays, I gotta get my life together for your birthday. Lord Jesus.
It's around the corner.
It literally is tomorrow.
I was going to say, this is the last podcast before I'm 30.
Oh my God, you're getting so old.
Yeah, I am. Also, unrelated, because I do not talk about my wife this much on this show. But I thought
this is the most you've mentioned.
Well, it's because, I was talking to you and we just happened to be recorded. But it is funny because I am about to be 30. And I was listening to music. And every once in a while you got something to say. You may throw on a little song to your partner, right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't really do that, but I just as the context of what's going on. So I was listening to music and I was listening to my R&B playlist, and the song 20s by what is that dude's name? I'm
not gonna know because I don't even know what song you're talking about.
Okay, hold on.
I do not listen to music, y'all. It's so weird. Giveon. Oh, I know him.
So the song 20 by Giveon came on, and she was like, this is a crazy thing to tell me right now. You've never heard the song?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, I want you to comment on it. So we're pausing the podcast because whatever. I'm gonna play it for you, and then because I'm not gonna get copyrighted, but I do want you to hear the chorus.
What the?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be
Okay.
All right, we're back.
That song is traumatizing.
Yeah, no,
What
for
the
real.
heck?
So for those of you who've never heard it, because I couldn't play it, I will read you a couple of lyrics again in the context of I'm about to be 30 in like a week. Dude says 6 years going down the drain. I guess I'm half to blame. I don't know. I'd be wasting my time spending my 20s on you. And she texted me and then it says, I poured my heart into it. Don't get me started. Spend my time wondering why I spend my 20s on you. So she texted me and she was like, that's a crazy message. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, oh, I'm about to be 30 and this song is talking about wasting my 20s on you. And we've been together for my entire 20s. Yeah, that was funny. But I was like, what are you talking about? Like, and I was like, oh, this song.
Because were you not listening to it? You were just like sending it to her?
No, I didn't send it to her. I was listening it like we have speakers in the house.
So so she just heard you listening to it. Okay.
Yeah, and she just texted me and she was like, "That's a crazy message for me right now." And I'm like, "Bro, what? And I was like, "Ooh, yeah, no, that's not me. That's Giveon. I didn't say that.
That's not me. That's Giveon is insane. Isn't he the one? He has a baby with Kali Uchis, right? It's them two who have a baby together.
I don't.
Never mind. There's two artists that they do collabs a lot, and now they have a child together. And I know Kali Uchis is the mother. I don't know who the daddy is, but the daddy is an R&B singer.
That sounds like Black.
It's definitely not Black.
I don't know that Giveon has ever done a song with Kali Uchis, but I don't know any of her songs. So, but yeah, no, I just thought that was funny, and that'll be it. So to actually talk on the podcast about the podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Don Toliver. Child, I'm putting celebrities together. They're not even together. Sorry.
R&B.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Anyways.
Steph Curry.
Oh, so we're getting into the news. Curry. So now we're talking about the news, everybody. We are no longer talking about random shit. Here's the sports. Welcome.
Stephen Curry was hired as the GM of Davidson.
The GM at Davidson.
I have two things to say about this.
Okay.
One, how? You have a job, dog. Like you have a job and a family and kids and sponsorships and golf.
Now he is the assistant GM. He's not the main GM.
Okay, still that is a luxury title. He's not doing anything. And then the second thing that I have to say is because people are hilarious on social media. Someone said the economy's so bad, even Steph Curry had to get a second job.
I saw that. I saw that, and I was like, honestly, facts. Like I saw that, and I was screaming. I think it's very interesting. So the role for him is obviously it's assistant GM. He will now become the first active professional player to take an administrative job in the NCAA. And he will be guiding both men's and women's players. And he's working under the GM there named Austin Bunce. And Austin Bunce used to work at Under Armour and has sponsored, which obviously is one of Steph Curry's sponsors. So there's probably a relationship there. That's how he did probably get the job. But
and he graduated from there.
Oh, yeah, of course. He graduated from there. He has him and his wife are boosters. They've put a lot of money into Davidson. So that's not.
You still have an active career. What do you mean you're the GM?
I'm crying.
This is BS in my opinion, because like Andrew Luck is the GM at Stanford. He's there. He's gonna be in the office. He's gonna be working. Steph not doing that. Steph is getting paid as an occasional public speaker.
I mean, I think let's just be for real. Let's be for real. Let's tell the truth. Let's shame the devil. That man is getting ready to retire from basketball. Gotcha. So this is also very much probably the first like signs of like him creating those next steps in his
also that's not career. Him enough.
It's definitely not. But
it's just a title. But hey, I mean, cool for him.
It's definitely not. Well, Steph also has like other businesses and
right. That's
all
what
kinds
I'm
of
saying.
other stuff.
Like how you got it. That's a wasted title. Like you just name the field after him or something. Why are you gonna give him a job?
I'm crying. Well, there's another booster apparently who also is going to be an assistant GM. So I'm wondering. It's giving very much like we're giving you a title because you give us a lot of money. It is giving that. So I don't know, but we'll see, because I think it'll also be pretty cool to see like if he can be in some sort of like mentorship sort of like space for these athletes. Like that would be really cool once he actually has the time to be around, because again, he is a professional basketball player. That is that's what he does first. But I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with it. I love it. I love the idea of athletes staying involved in sport in a way that's not the obvious, like being on TV and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Period. My piece of news that I obviously was not going to let go by is the fact that we now have a series of, now it's only 2 games. They've only scheduled for 2025 and 2026, but there is going to be a series called The Real SC, and that will be women's basketball played between University of South Carolina and University of Southern California, to determine who the real SC is. And those games have been slated and they have been scheduled for November of 2025 and then November of 2026, hopefully continuing on to create a kind of culture around these 2 schools. And the fact that, me and Jordan talk about all the time that USC is only USC on this side of the country and USC is actually, University of Southern Cal on the other side. So now they're finally leaning into it and giving us some fun competition around that. Obviously, what's really cool about this is for these 2 years, we will be guaranteed to see Juju Watkins and Malaysia Fulwiley play each other, which is very thrilling for me personally. It's very good for my brand.
The brand is strong.
The brand is strong. We get that for at least 2 years because they're both sophomores. So that just got announced on like Sunday afternoon or Monday after all of the championships.
I think that's good. I love that. I also think it's fun because like not only the players, the power, the things like that, like they are the 2 of the best programs. And so they're
at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, like they're not running away from smoke, like they're not ducking. I think that's cool. And also it's just like when you have these things, right? It's just like I love, well, maybe not as much as you do, but occasionally I love a good sports gimmick.
Oh, and yeah, so, like, I love a sports gimmick.
The battle of the real SC, like that's, come on. Like,
that's so cute. I love it. I also love that. I find that with women's basketball, I feel like there has been so much. I think they leaned a lot into the competition and the parity that existed within the conference, right? And the non-conference games were like, whatever. I love that we're starting to get more momentum around the non-conference games. Like the big game from last year that was announced early in the year was when USC was slated to play UConn. And then that became one of the highest viewed games all season, right? Because we want to see Juju Watkins play Paige Beckers. Like people want to see that. You know what I mean? So I love that they're starting to lean more into these out of conference matchups and what these can really create and become and the culture around it. Like we could be creating a new rivalry with this, and I love the idea of creating a rivalry, of creating something to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like even with the Lakers and the Mavs, I know that there's so much mess right now going on with the Mavericks.
That's going to be the Christmas game next year.
But that's going to be thank you. That's going to be the game of the year next year. Like that's going to be the game.
Game of the year.
It is going to be the game of the year in the sense that like it's going to be highly anticipated. Like there's so many NBA games, like every single matchup, everybody don't give a crap about, but people are going to care. As long as Luka is a Laker, people are going to care about it every time he plays the Mavericks.
Yeah, for sure. Only reason I say maybe not game of the year is because Kyrie may not be playing again.
Well, yeah. Like, it won't be like,
but like as far as like talk hype,
yes.
I mean, like I said, it's going to be the Christmas game next year. Like I would bet money is going to be the Christmas game. So yeah.
I love the idea of creating new rivalries, creating new energy around. Like the same old stuff is fun. It's cool. It's great. Like everybody always wants to watch like what already exists, right? But it's fun to start to create those other through lines. And I mean, ultimately platform women's basketball even more, so I'm here for it. I love it. I'm excited. I hope that they keep going. And also people are saying that this is kind of an indicator of Dawn Staley really trying to make sure that the schedule for South Carolina stays very strong because of the whole number 1 seed conversation, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah.
Yep. You know what else we love to see and we hope continues? Justin Fields getting paid, which is good for the brand. I don't care what anyone says personally. When Sam Darnold can be a starting quarterback multiple times, Baker Mayfield can be a starting quarterback, and I will give Baker credit. Baker is
he doesn't suck,
but he's gotten a second chance. If Jared Goff got a second chance, if Ryan Tannehill got a second chance,
people keep paying Daniel Jones
is the highest paid quarterback. I'm not going to count Daniel Jones because this is just now happening to him. Like he's not old enough for this to be his second and third kind of thing. But Daniel Jones did get a new $80 million contract or whatever it was originally. Who else keeps getting Jimmy Garoppolo keeps getting contracts.
They swear that Jimmy Garoppolo is the second coming of.
If all of them keep getting contracts, then 26-year-old Justin Fields should also get a second chance to prove himself. And I don't think he got a real chance for the Steelers, although I still do think him sitting largely for a year is helpful for him.
Yeah.
I wish that the Steelers would, because he was playing well, but I still think him sitting was helpful for him. But Justin Fields got a new contract, 2 years, 40 mil, 30 guaranteed. I will be going to a Jets game. I never thought I'd say that in my life.
Isn't that insane?
I have to go watch Justin Fields and Garrett
in
Wilson,
person.
whether
Yeah,
they're
you have
good
to.
or not. And so, yeah, it's just like I get it, right? I understand Justin Fields is never going to be a top 10 quarterback. That's fine, but he could be 12 or 13. And we've seen a lot of people at 15, 16, 17 maintain jobs for a lot of times. Like, I just don't believe that Justin Fields is so bad that he has to be a backup. So I'm glad that someone is giving him a chance, and it's a legitimate chance. It is, we're giving you this money to be the starter. Like the Jets have another quarterback. Now, if he fails again after these 2 years, then he's 29, and then maybe you have a different conversation. But I think he deserved this real chance, and a chance. Like, it's weird to say with like not a bad organization, because the Jets are a horrible organization, but their new coach and things seems to be like an adult in the room. So he deserves a chance with a non-Bears organization as well. And so, yeah, we love to see it.
Period.
News. So we'll take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll talk women's basketball. And then we'll continue our series of 10 games to look at. But this time, we're in the Big 12. So we will be right back after the ads. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Power 2 podcast, where we are here to discuss the power of second chances and a good cup.
Oh.
Yeah, both. You're locked in because I told her you were sending them. So
I want to send you all these cups. I promise.
Y'all heard it here first.
No, you don't understand. If the way that he reacted. Because again, he doesn't talk about his wife much, but the fact that you were like, I'm talking to my wife right now. Like, look at the cup. That's a cup my wife wants. I gotta get her the cups. Yeah. Like, this is pure and utter advocacy on the behalf of you as a husband. You went out and you said, my wife wants these cups. Your wife is getting the cups.
You know what I'm saying? You got it. That's what you got to do sometimes. You know what else you have to do sometimes? You have to talk about women's basketball. You have to talk about women's basketball.
Oh my gosh, you do. Okay, so let me give you guys like some context. So we are recording early because people have the audacity to turn 30. And so usually we record these episodes on Sundays, obviously. So technically, like we would be recording this on Selection Sunday, but we are not. We are a few days out from that.
Yep.
So we're going to do a little bracketology. We're going to do a little prediction. We're going to do a little, what do we think? What are our ideals for Selection Sunday, the top 16? What's the tournament that we want to see? Realistically speaking, I'm really only looking at like the top 10 teams right now. Like, yes, the whole 16 is interesting, whatever, but like, I'm sorry, some of y'all finna be bounced up out of here. Like, you made it, but you're about to be bounced out. Sorry. So as far as I see it, number one, I'm very, very confused as to why University of South Carolina is not the number one seed. I don't understand, but as it stands right now, the rankings are UCLA is number one.
They have 2 losses.
I know.
They got number one by beating the team that beat them twice. You know what? Never mind.
Beat who twice?
USC beat them twice, and they got the number one seed by beating USC, who beat them
right.
twice.
Is that not insane? Am I stupid?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. We're agreeing. Okay, I was like, am I stupid? Because I don't understand how being.
It's good for my brand because they're a Big Ten team, but I think that doesn't make any sense.
That's insane to get smacked. Mind you, when they played USC the first 2 times, they got smacked.
Double digits.
And then they won by the skin of their teeth towards the end.
Like if that game had 5 more minutes.
That game becomes USC's game. They jumped 3 spots. They jumped 3 spots just by beating USC. Now, and I don't want, and here's the thing, I don't want this to be a let's shit on UCLA moment. Okay. UCLA has had a great season. They won 30 games. They only lost 2. They were on a winning streak. I think they won like 15 straight or something silly. So I'm not coming for them. I just think it's sort of insane to put them at the number 1 seed all because they beat a team that had already beaten them twice.
And the
Like,
fake USC beat the previous number 1 seed, smacked him up.
So, okay, but UCLA is the number 1 seed right now. USC, South Carolina, is number 2. UConn is number 3. University of Southern California, USC, is number 4. Texas is 5.
Texas fell out of a number 1 seed.
Well, they lost the SEC tournament by a lot.
True. And USC
by a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Like, and South Carolina beat them. South Carolina won the tournament. So
no, I was more thinking maybe they got the last spot over USC, but they did not.
Now, and that's the thing that's interesting. And I know that obviously the rankings is not always based on record, but technically Texas has won more games than USC. But I think it's more based on their losses because Texas's losses have a heavier weight than USC's losses. But then we have TCU at 6, Duke at 7. Notre Dame at 8. I think Notre Dame being at 8 is very low for them. But I also
lost like 3 games in like 3 weeks though.
They did have their winning streak snapped. They won like something stupid, like 20-something games straight, and then they lost boom, boom, boom towards the end. Obviously, they lost to NC State in a regular season game and double overtime, and then they lost to Duke in the ACC tournament. And they lost to somebody else. I can't remember, but it did all happen in about 2 weeks. NC State is 9. LSU is 10. OU is 11. University of North Carolina is 12. Kentucky is 13. Baylor is 14. Ohio State is 15. And West Virginia is 16. That is, if we stop today, that would be the Sweet 16. I have very strong opinions about the top 8. I do not feel like the top 8 is in the correct order. But this is not a shit on the rankings moment. This is more of a, okay, first selection Sunday, do we think that this is what's actually going to occur? I do not think that UCLA is going in as a number 1 seed. I don't think that's happening. I think I would appreciate, let me put it this way, them putting South Carolina at the number 1 seed because when you look at strength of schedule, I'm so sorry, South Carolina had a stronger schedule than UCLA. And y'all can shoot me. I don't care. Y'all can shoot me. I think that South Carolina needs to be the number 1 seed. I think that UConn needs to be the number 2 seed, and then USC, and then UCLA. Yes, I want UCLA all the way back down to number 4.
I don't think that's happening, but I do agree they probably should not be the number 1 seed.
But I also don't hate the idea of moving Texas up some. I know they lost the SEC tournament, but I don't hate the idea of even Texas being in the top 4 because Texas also had a strong season. Like their losses do weigh quite a bit, but they also are competing and they had a strong schedule as well. So
I think that's the interesting thing for me. I like where I think there could maybe be changes is I think USC. Sorry, this is confusing me. South Carolina could be number 1 over UCLA, and I think Texas could get the last number 1 seed over USC because before going into the tournament, they had Texas over USC. If they both make it to the conference championship game and they both lose, then their resumes are technically the same unless you factor in style of losing. And if the resumes are the same, if 2 weeks ago they were above them, then now you could argue that maybe they're still above them, especially if you give South Carolina the number 1 seed. I guess if you pair it where it's like if UCLA gets the number 1 seed, then USC should get the, you know what I mean? Like 2 Big Ten teams or 2 SEC teams, depending on who's number 1. I guess that sort of makes sense because like that's how you value the losses based on which team you think is better. But like I think that would be an interesting thing to follow to see which one gets 1 and which one gets 4 between
those 4 schools,
UCLA and Texas, USC.
Obviously, by the time we are back on the show, I think March Madness would have already started.
Yes.
I believe. So
yeah, we'll be like 3 rounds in.
Okay, we'll be
March
through.
Madness is very, very quick. Like very, very quick.
It is so fast. It is so fast. I think at this point, my way too early predictions for the Elite Eight is all the schools that we mentioned: UCLA, South Carolina, Connecticut, USC. I think Texas falls out of that. I think TCU falls out of that. I think Duke, Notre Dame, North Carolina, and LSU are the ones who make it up to Elite Eight.
Mm.
Personally, I don't see Texas or TCU getting past 16. I don't. Because Texas, realistically, no shade to Texas. All they have is Madison Booker. Like, they do have their fifth-year point guard. I think her last name is Harmon. They do have her. And when she scores, she can score. Like, she can score at will, but she's not instant offense in the same way that Madison Booker is. And so Texas only goes as Madison goes. And if she's not going,
so
child.
If the 4 number ones are South Carolina, UCLA, UConn, and USC,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not also the Final Four, because in most cases, all 4 number 1 seeds do not make it to the
Don't
Final
end up.
Four.
Yeah.
Which is the one that's not making it? I think 3 of them make it. I don't see 2 of them losing.
I think 3 of them make it too.
One, if it's those 4, which is the one that doesn't make it to the Final Four?
I don't think UCLA is making it to the Final Four.
I was going to say that.
I don't think UCLA is making it to the Final Four. If I really had to say, I think the Final Four is South Carolina, Connecticut, USC, and Notre Dame, because I know that Niele is whipping that Notre Dame team into shape for this tournament. So I feel like Notre Dame is the one who ends up jumping and climbing up and making it actually to Final Four. I don't think they make it to the championship because depending on who they play, I don't think they can beat any of the other teams in the Final Four. But I think Notre Dame is the one that ends up in it over UCLA. Because UCLA has a similar problem to me that Texas has, which is that all they have is Lauren Betts. No shade to the other girls at UCLA. They're great. UCLA is a good team. They're full of McDonald's All-Americans just like South Carolina. But I think that they're in the same situation that if Lauren Betts is not hitting, if Lauren Betts is not doing exactly what she needs to do, where do they go from there? And I think more and more as basketball, on the women's side of basketball, because this I don't think is the case for men, more and more the teams that are obviously more complete and have threats at all positions are the ones who are winning. And that's why I see South Carolina or UConn at the end of the day hoisting up that trophy at the end of the tournament.
Yeah, I think I don't know what I want more. South Carolina versus USC or South Carolina versus UConn.
I'd be obsessed either way, to be honest.
Or UConn versus USC.
I mean, I would love to see Paige Beckers and Juju play again.
We did see that last year.
We did. That was pretty tough. We did. For the championship game, to be honest, I'm going to be happy to see a championship game with South Carolina in it. I really would not even care who they're playing against. I'm going to be honest. Now, because I'm a South Carolina like stan, obviously, but I will say for Paige Becker's sake, I really want her to make it I want her to have a good actual shot at a championship. That is why she came back. That is why she's playing a 5th year. So for the brand of me and the players that I care about, I want so badly for Paige to be able to have that moment because I know that that's the only thing that she's missing. She's done literally everything else. She's broken all these records. She's ranked. She's already made it, into the UConn history books. She's made it into the D1 college women's basketball history books. She's the only player to win Big East Player of the Year 3 times. Like she's done everything else. So I would love for her to get her championship and to get her MOP for sure.
Yeah, I will say if Paige does not win a championship, UConn is never breaking the curse.
Hot take. Here's the thing. I don't think that's true. And the reason why I don't think that's true is because
I mean, like, not until he retires, not until Gino retires.
And I don't think. Okay, so I just listened to, you listen to the Athletic Women's Basketball Show. Number one, pause. Did you see that they're rebranding? They're rebranding. They're calling it No Off Season, I believe now. It's the same show. It's the same people. They're just not calling it the Athletic Women's Basketball Show anymore. That has like a name. Okay. and they're dropping 2 episodes a week now. This is not an advertisement, but you really should listen to the show. It's really good. They had a all access interview with Gino Auriemma, and I just listened to it yesterday. And he spoke about the team. I think they still have a shot at winning a championship with the team that they currently have. Because Sarah Strong is amazing, and she's a freshman. They have KK Arnold, who is doing really, really well. Once Paige is out, I think KK will be the kind of next one up as far as like the floor general. And then you've got AZ Fudd. Now, people are saying AZ might declare for the draft and all these things. I don't know about all that, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think she should either. I think she needs to play one more year off
because of
injury.
All the injuries, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I don't think they should. They actually talked about that, the fact that Paige and AZ have been on the same team for 4 years and they've only played like 30 games together.
Insane.
Which is crazy because of both of their injuries. So I think that UConn has the pieces, but I do think their strongest chance at winning a championship within the next couple of years is right now. And I don't know. I don't think Gino's going to retire. I feel like he might not retire until he does it again. I feel like that might be what it is. It's like he's going to get that one more championship, that 17th or 18th banner, and be like, all right, now I'm done.
I would. But everyone knows that I'm a huge proponent for retiring on top. So
I also agree with that.
It's also hard because like you don't know if you're going to get that. So
yeah, but when you've done it 16 times, you know what to do to get there. You know what to do. And he's been dealt a really shitty situation because the girls are not healthy. Like, it's not because they're not skilled. It's not because they're not good. The reason why UConn smacked up USC is because that was one of the first times that the entire roster was healthy and playing together.
Yeah.
And playing good basketball. So you take that and you put it in a Sweet 16 context, which Paige just put the team on her back and took them to the Final Four. Took them to the freaking Final Four, and there was 6 active players. You give her a healthy team, ciao, bye. They're winning the championship.
I can see it. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah.
I would like it if she gets one, and then I would like it if Juju gets one before her time is up.
I think Juju
obviously not everyone wins, but that would be good for me.
I also, for my brand, need Paige Beckers to win a championship, so that way I can always say Paige is better than Caitlin because Paige actually won. So I need that for my brand because people are already trying to act like, oh, well, Caitlin Clark is the best player to ever exist. You have to win something for that to be true. I don't care. You have to win. If Paige wins, then she's going to be the white girl besides Breanna Stewart, because Breanna Stewart's the only one who's like, hello, she won 4 times. So, but I'm just like, because even Sabrina Ionescu, sorry to that lady, she didn't win. Like, Caitlin Clark didn't win. Paige Beckers needs to win.
Would love to see it.
But anyways, we'll see what happens.
On women's
I love women's basketball. That's all.
It's a great final thought. All right, so moving on to our power sweep, we are talking about the Big 12, and I will admit to all of you fine listeners that this is our weakest conference. So there will be less notes,
less discussion
to other of these, but we're doing it anyway. I'll go first.
Period.
My game is also the first game in general because it's week 0. Like, it's legitimately the first game.
What is that, like the Friday?
That's a good question. I don't know. But I know it's first game. I'm
asking questions. I will look. It is on Saturday.
Yeah. And it's in Ireland.
Oh, this is the Ireland game. Okay. Yes.
I'm going to go to a game in Ireland. Like, I'm going to make that a bucket list. I already want to go to Ireland. I told you I want to go to Ireland for my 35th birthday. Really?
I didn't know this. No, this is news to me. Why? You just want to drink the Guinness and eat what do they eat? Cabbage?
I don't know what they eat. I'm a fan of the Irish.
Oh, so your time to shine is coming up. St. Patrick's Day. Going to be literally in the city with your green hat on and your... No? Okay. Sorry.
I don't really do St. Patrick's Day. It's just like... So, like... It's like... So I'm not a historian or anything like that. I just, like... I really just think, like... Throughout history... The Irish have always been on the right
side. That is so true.
They haven't forgotten the atrocities done to them.
That is so true.
And also, it just seems fun. So it's just kind of like of all of the European countries and all of the things, I just have an affinity towards Ireland. And then you add in the fact that it seems fun and I want to go. I could have swore I told you this before. Maybe it was
Mhm.
Dante, but like I want to go for whatever. I'm gonna do whatever because it's a beautiful country. But I told Shorty, I said, I need one day and I'm sitting in the bar the whole day and I'm going shot for shot with the Irish. And when I leave, I will know Irish drinking songs.
Okay. Okay, period. I love that for
Like
you.
by the
Period.
time I leave, I need to lead one. Like I'm learning one.
Not I need to lead one.
Yeah, I need to lead one. I'm gonna learn it throughout the day, and then before I leave, I'm gonna lead one, and then I'm gonna go.
So, pause. I want to get your opinion on how do you feel about the whole concept, because this is going on in basketball too, of the inaugural games and things like that happening overseas. Like last year, I think the women's season opened and they had a game in Paris or somewhere in France. I think last season they had a game. Did they have a game in Ireland last season too?
Football, yeah, football's done
Yeah.
Ireland for a couple of years.
Yeah. How do you like, what is your thoughts on like taking these sports and going global?
I like it for a couple of reasons. Um, the main reason is that a lot of these athletes are black and people of color, and when you take the game global, you're making their college pay for for their passport, and
Period.
then also they're getting a chance to experience something else. And there are so many, not just we're black, we talk a lot about, but there are a lot of people who just for various reasons, low income, first year, whatever, just don't get that opportunity. So
To see the world. Yeah.
to take these kids of various whatevers and pay for them to go and spend time in another country, and they a lot of times they do it where it's sort of spread out so they're not like rushed home, like they
Yeah.
go a little bit early, and it is still a business trip, but you do get some time to kind of be like immersed, and it's just also like the culture is different. Like the Ireland football game last year, their payment system broke, so they just gave free beer to everybody.
Oh, I remember that. I
Like
remember
they're not
that.
doing that here, so I just think it's just I think it's cool, and I also like I'm not like an advocate for we got to grow the game, like you know what I mean. Like I don't really care about that, but I do think it is cool, especially when you have like other people do care about these sports, and they also don't get the chance because they may not have the money to come
To come here. Yeah.
and also pay American prices for tickets. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool. I don't have a problem with it, but uh mainly for the players. Like I don't really care about anything else.
The actual game. I love it too. I love it for the same reason. Like for these athletes to be able to get the opportunity to travel and see the world and all these other things. But I do love the idea of growing the game. Like I even love the fact that there was the NBA games in Paris some weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like I do love that we talk more and more about the NFL having games overseas and what that looks like. Because I don't think the league, especially NFL, I don't think the NFL will ever actually be able to be like global because playing football and going all over the world and all these different time zones and stuff like that's crazy. But I love that like there's just more and more conversation of like how can we grow this game, because also we know that there are strong fandoms for these sports in other countries. We are very very aware of that. So how much can we cater to that fandom? Like that's such a big deal to me. That's such a big thing. Like even Sabrina Ionescu, she had gone to the NBA games in Paris. That's why she missed a couple unrivaled games because she was already slated to go. And she talked about how this was just so great because the fans, like they knew who everyone was. The fans knew who they were, the WNBA players, and they were just so excited to have a game there. And she was like, I hope that the WNBA does a game here because these people love the sport. They love the sport. They love the athletes. They know who we are. They know our culture. They know what the game is. And we should cater to that and bring more of the game to them. So I think it's really cool. And I love that colleges are getting in on it too. But yes, Iowa State and Kansas State play each other in Ireland.
Yes, that is my game.
Oh, that was it.
Also, could
Okay.
be a good. I mean, it's going to be a good game. Like these are two. Like the we'll talk about this, so we won't get into it much now. But like the Big 12, literally every single year is going to be like a who's who of who's going to be good. Like there's not going to be like there may not be like in the Big 10, right? It's going to be Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State with a sprinkle of Michigan or Wisconsin or whoever, right? In the
Mhm.
SEC, it's going to be if Sark keeps it up, it's going to be Georgia, Texas, and a sprinkle of this team or that team, right? The Big 12, You can't name the 4 teams that are always going to be good and sort of in competition. So going into next season, these are Iowa State and Kansas State are 2 of the teams who are expected to be good, and
Mm-hmm.
getting them to play week 0 by alone, essentially in Ireland, I think is going to be fun.
Period. I love it. My game, these obviously are not in any particular order. Oh, am I? I didn't. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now?
All right, so you're not muted. Your video
I'm
is
not
just
muted,
lagging. I was like looking at you, but I couldn't hear
but you
you.
can hear me.
Yes, your video wasn't matching your mouth, and so it looked like you were muted because I was watching you speak and there was no sound. But you're not muted. Your video is
Oh my
just
gosh.
lagging.
We love technology. Okay. My game is Arizona State and Utah. Obviously, I think for me, Arizona State is the team that I'll be watching in the Big 12 most of the time, just because of how the Texas game went. I just want to see where they're at. And Utah was pretty good last year. So I don't know what week this game is in because I did not do the wonderful due diligence that you did and put down the weeks that they're in. But yeah, I just chose that game because I felt like it was going to be very competitive between the two of them.
Love that. Arizona State is also the team to watch this year.
They
So
are for
speaking of
sure.
Arizona State, my next game is Arizona State, Colorado, because I just felt like I needed to have a Colorado game. That's really why. And it's like I need to pick something, and I want to know if Arizona State's going to be good. And I do have interest in like what Colorado is going to be without Travis and Shador.
And Shador. And this in Arizona State Colorado game is week 13. So we're going to have a lot of information about both teams by that point. Speaking of Colorado, I also had a Colorado game. And the one that I chose was the BYU Colorado game because BYU is not anything to sneeze at. They're not anybody to look, side eye. Like they were pretty good. They were very competitive last year. And again, it's kind of the same like logic of like, where is Colorado? What does it look like for, Coach Prime to be in the first year where he's not coaching one of his own children? So yeah.
Yeah. I have Arizona State again. Arizona State, Iowa State, and it is outside of the fact that it's not in Ireland, it is the same thing as the first game. Is that these, if you go into the season and you're like, who do you think is going to be the good teams? You're probably going to say Iowa State, Arizona State, and Kansas State, maybe BYU again, something like that. And so I want to see Arizona State, Iowa State play, and it's week 10, and also week 10. Last year is when the Big 12 exploded. So
yes, well, we didn't know who was going to be. Yes,
yeah.
yes. I also have an Iowa State game, and it's BYU. So it's, again, the same concept. So the biggest thing that me and Jordan had discovered, to give you guys a little bit of insight on how the sausage is made, we do sit down together and talk through these so we don't pick the same games. And I think that was the biggest thing that we came to the conclusion of is like, there's only a couple teams that I really, want to watch in the Big 12 at the moment, and BYU and Iowa State are 2 of those teams. So obviously seeing them matched up against each other, I really wish I knew what week this was. I want to say BYU and Iowa State are a little bit later in the season as well, maybe week 10 or week 9. Week 9. Listen, I have the memory of a freaking elephant. Okay. Words to my Delta sisters. But yeah, so we'll have a lot of information. And again, it was right around the time where everything was starting to blow up. So we'll see.
For sure. As anyone who follows me in any sort of variety should guess, the Holy War is on my list. I won't say anything about the game. It's the Holy War. You know what it is. I will take this brief second to say, why is this game not during
rivalry week? This was one of our most viral clips last year, was you going off about the fact that it wasn't.
So dumb. So
I know.
dumb.
I know.
I'll never get over it.
You seem very unentertained.
I am. I will never get over it. Especially because it's not even like there's a secondary rival that they're playing. They're just picking random games. Like, I think I shouldn't have gotten started on this. I think BYU plays Houston or something dumb the last game of the season.
Let's see. I'll look. I already have it pulled up. They play The UCF.
Case closed.
Thank you so much for coming to our TED Talk. The Holy War should be, if you guys don't know, the Holy War is Utah BYU, but yeah. And that's the thing. And the thing about it too is, again, based on previous empirical evidence, this should just generally be a competitive game because both of those teams are not trash. So it should definitely be during rivalry week. They should be a part of all the fights that are going to happen that week. There should be somebody putting a flag somewhere on a field, and it should be happening at the same time as everything else. But, you know, we can't have it all.
They don't even oh, never mind. Don't.
I know. We can't have it all.
We can, but we can have this.
Oh, you're right. We need to write a letter, like handwritten. So my other game, my fourth game, which is not in any particular order. Speaking of rivalries, oh my gosh. Okay. So yes, me and Jordan do pick these at the same time, but the through lines we'd be discovering while we talk about it on the show. Because again, I also picked a rivalry game, Kansas State. Both of them stand to be pretty good at this point. Again, why don't I know what week it is? I don't know. Okay, you guys are asking too much for me. But Kansas State.
Is this not during rivalry week?
Is it? I'm not sure. Let me see.
Farmageddon, I think, is.
What is that, week 14 or 13?
Yeah, 14. I think Farmageddon is usually during rivalry week.
It's not week 14. It might be week 13. No, it's not week 13 either. It is.
What is the Big 12 doing?
It is week. Oh, hold on. It's not week 10, not week 11, not week 9. It's week 9. It's week 9.
Please go to week 14.
Like,
who are they playing?
Can we get the rivalry games during rivalry week, please?
Who are they playing? Please tell me.
The last game of the season for who? Kansas or Kansas State?
Both.
The last game of the season for Kansas is going to be, excuse me, my internet. The last game of the week for Kansas is Utah, which is going to be good, but it's not a rivalry. Yes, we know. And then the last game for Kansas State is going to be, once it loads, it'll be Colorado, which will also not be a bad game, but they're not, it's not rivalry.
Stop playing with me. The Big 12 is so stupid, bro. I'm done. I don't even want to talk about
Maybe this is why we're having a hard time.
Can we finish? I don't want to talk about them. I'm not talking about them all year. This is so fucking dumb. It's, first of all, just take out the rivalry. Just take out college football and the pageantry and all of these things. Off the name alone, the Holy War and Farmageddon, and you got them week 8 and 9? Are you dumb?
Maybe they want it to be like the marquee game of the week, so that way they don't want to get lost in the sauce of rivalry week. They want it to happen at I'm trying to help. I don't know.
It can't be helped.
I don't know. That's the best I got for you.
This is trying to like help a baby pick up an ice cream that dropped on the sidewalk. It's done. Ice cream's gone. You can't do it.
What a metaphor.
You can clean it up, but you can't pick it up. It can't be saved.
What a metaphor. I'm crying.
I hate this. Let's finish.
Okay. Well, you got to do your
12.
It's your turn.
Is it? Oh. It is my turn.
He's pissed. He's so pissed about the Holy War.
West Virginia and Kansas, because West Virginia, shout out.
Yes, go West Virginia.
I mean, I do think that's going to be a good game, but also West Virginia has a new coach who is also proving to be an idiot because he's been there a week. And he's already talking about banning TikTok dances.
That's the coach.
Hear me out.
Oh, I've heard about this. Okay, I didn't know it was West Virginia.
Do I love when I get on TikTok and I see Ohio State football players doing TikTok dances?
Yes.
I personally don't.
Oh.
But do I care? Also, no. They're 18 and 19. What do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing?
And even when I was in undergrad, they did a social media ban for the football players. They weren't allowed to be on Twitter or Instagram or something like that. I gotta ask Cortland. But what? Why? Why? This is a part of life now. You can't be oh no, don't do And again, to me, as long as it's not causing an issue in the locker room or with play or anything like that, it really shouldn't be an issue if the athletes want to be on social media. That really should not be an issue. especially now in the era of NIL, where you are going to have a lot more players leveraging the fact that they are on certain teams and associated with certain brands. Like there's one guy for LSU, he doesn't even hardly play on the basketball team, but he makes hundreds of thousands of dollars off of NIL deals because he's big on TikTok. So like,
now personally, I do have a problem with you doing it if you're not like actually playing, because there was a walk on at Ohio State that was doing it and he was
LOL.
lying. He ended up getting kicked off the team. I don't think he just got kicked off the team because of that, but like he was lying. Like he was taking clips from like previous years and pretending that he was with the team during the playoffs.
Oh,
So
see
much
now,
so
okay.
so much so that literally Ohio State football players would go in his comments and be like, "You're not even on the team anymore." Like I'm sorry, I don't need to walk on making TikTok content about day in the life.
I I do understand, but I also just feel like if they want to do the social media, let them do the social media. Like, who cares? And I get maybe like, okay, don't do it in the locker room or don't do it in certain like spaces. I can understand that. You know what I mean? Like only do it on your own time or something like that. Okay, fine. But like to completely say just don't do it at all. I think that's I don't love that.
Yeah, agreed.
Um
2025. Stop being weird.
Literally. Speaking of Kansas, my last game also features Kansas. And it's kind of the same reason for your other game, Kansas, Iowa State. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I think it's going to be competitive. And clearly the teams to watch, if you guys have caught nothing from this show, is Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State, and Arizona State. All the states.
Shout out to the state schools, baby. You know what I'm saying? No, just
Period. We love a state school. But
which is,
yeah.
yeah. I will give you a brief history lesson. Brief.
It won't be, but go
Most
ahead.
it will be most, if not all, schools that have state in their name are land grant schools.
Period. Shout out to
That is
Land
the
Grant.
difference between like Ohio is a state school, so is Ohio State, so is Kent State, but like Ohio State, Iowa State, Kansas State, Michigan State, like a lot of times when it's like, why do you have Michigan and Michigan State? Why do you have Ohio and Ohio State? Why do you have Arizona and Arizona State?
Mm-hmm.
Typically, the state school is a land grant school. And I won't tell you what the land grant schools are because then my brief history won't be quick.
Well, period.
Yeah.
Love that. Shout out to Land Grant. For the woman is wanting. Mine is short, and I also have things to say about yours. Mine is short. They just announced the WNBA draft. I cannot believe we are basically 4 weeks away from the 2025 WNBA draft class. So much to talk about, so much to unpack, so many things to chitter about, but we won't do that until post Sweet 16 because March Madness, because usually that's when everybody's draft stock either goes up or down. So it's no point in talking about it now. But it has been announced that it's going to be April 14th. It is going to be in New York. I do believe that they will be pretty much repeating the way that they did it last year. If you guys are unaware, last year the WNBA draft, it was the first time that they really had made it into a fuller like production and had a live audience and all these other things and made it like the professional drafts that you would see for other leagues like the NFL and the NBA and things like that. So they're really trying to create some more momentum around the draft and the production of it and the experience of it. So hopefully we get to see even more with the orange carpet and more with, the players' background stories and the videography, all the things that come with the draft. They're really starting to level that up. So I'm so excited. Also, the draft will just be very, very interesting because there were so many draft pick trades that occurred in the last couple months during free agency. So some of these teams are finna clean up. Very excited. So April 14th, get ready.
For sure. Mine.
I know.
I just want these brands to know what they're there for. Have you ever you know what I mean? Like it's just like this is I need to stop doing analogies on this show. I was like, you ever been like it happens all the time where it's just like there's a person, I won't gender them, there's a person who is maybe tricking a little bit, and then they're like, I don't want to spend money no more. It's like that's why you were around. You thought it was your personality? Like,
I'm crying.
that's a bad analogy. No, it's not, but that's not the point. Southwest Airline does not know where its bread is buttered.
Not
They
where
don't
its
know.
bread is
They
buttered.
don't know why people were flying Southwest. It wasn't because it was comfy. It wasn't because the internet was good. It wasn't because the food and drinks was good. They didn't have those. It wasn't because there was a TV where you could little watch things in the back of the seat. They didn't have that either. It was 2 free checked bags. 2 free check bags. That's it. That's all. 2 free check bags. Why are you flying Southwest? 2 free check bags. Because at the end of the day, Southwest was not always the cheapest. But then when you added in the price of the check bag, it typically ended up being cheaper because just on like Delta and all the other ones, the check bag gonna cost you anywhere between between 80 and $120 both ways. So Southwest used to get some deals off of, say it with me, 2 free check bags.
2 free checked bags.
Now they're saying no more free check bags starting in May. And also, as a in relation to this, all the airline companies can screw themselves right now, because I remember when Delta and American Airlines last year snuck in basic economy and took away the what did they change? They took away the one of them created like a basic economy, and they made you pay for a carry-on, which they never used to do. They made it more like Southwest, more like Spirit.
I don't fly a whole lot, and
one of the United's Delta,
maybe it was United, because I'm like,
snuck in a basic economy, and you had to pay for things you didn't used to have to pay for.
United will nickel and dime you for everything. Everything. If you want to change your seat, $20. If you want to do this, $40. If you want to bring a bag, $100. I'm like, oh my God. What frustrates me about the Southwest thing is that, number one, it's been 2 free check bags for 54 years. That means for double almost our lifetimes, this has been a part of your business model. And now that you have a new CEO, because they do have new leadership, Southwest has new leadership, and then they sold some of their equity. Now all of a sudden we want to do the most. Now all of a sudden we don't want to have open seating. Now all of a sudden we need to do. They want to do also what is it? What's it called? What the same thing that Ticketmaster does? Surge pricing or whatever it's called.
What?
Yes, they want to do that. They want to, and then of course now the bag thing too. Just to be clear, everybody, it's based on your loyalty, right? So certain members, like high level premium advantage members or things like that, will not be affected by this new policy. They will still be able to have 2 bags
40 times a year.
I know. They will still have their 2 free bags, and then like a tier under that, or if you buy certain seats like business select and things like that, you'll get 1 free bag. But if you're just like a regular passenger on a Southwest plane, starting May 28th, your bags will not be flying free. And I just hate that we're losing the plot. That's the biggest thing, is we're losing the plot. Southwest, you couldn't possibly think that we were all flying with you because we just love Southwest. We were all flying with you because you were providing us with something that your competitors were not. And that was the fact that we could fly with our bags for free. And what pisses me off is a better way to do this was to just increase the flight ticket price, but still let us fly our bags for free. So that way you could still advertise that the bags fly free, but you add an extra fucking whatever, $40 onto the flight price, and then that goes towards the bag flight. And then we are none the wiser.
Also, you could have just done 1 free check bag.
Just give us 1. Maybe we don't need to fly 2 free check bags, because realistically, where are you going where you need 2 bags most of the time anyway? Just give us 1. Just give us 1. Because that was what was separating you from United and Delta and Frontier and American and whatever.
I will never fly Southwest.
Why do I need to fly Southwest if I can't have my free bag? Because especially for my job, we prefer to fly Southwest because we're always taking bags with us, because we take our event supplies with us. We travel with it. And that was the main thing, was we are going to buy a checked bag. So that way, every time we fly to wherever event we're going to, we don't have to pay for our bag.
Crazy.
I don't know. And I'm not trying to get like doom and gloom and existential and all of this, but like, this is everything that's wrong with capitalism. Is there's a certain point where you get so greedy and you feel like because there's a certain level of brand loyalty or because you're providing a service that people actually need, then you can just do whatever you want and you can charge for whatever you want and you can milk us for all of this and all of that, but give us less. Because those flight prices are still going to be the same. They're probably going to be higher. And you want me to pay for my bag?
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
Tripping. Well, on that note, I'm going to enjoy the sunshine because I will not be enjoying traveling. Getting ready to check bags and planes are falling out the air. That's insane. We will catch you not next week, in 2 weeks. And we'll be back. Regularly scheduled after that. Catch you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening as always.